Body. The most simple place to begin the work is noticing the breath. Follow the awareness to the sensation of the breath. And the more you become aware of the breath, the more you'll realize how that's actually still a fairly broad focus. Meaning the breath has the sensation that you might feel in the core, in the chest, as the chest rises and falls. Or maybe you'll focus on the actual flow of the air as it moves in and out, the sensation in the nose. As you inhale, it might feel cool. Exhale, it's a little warmer. And it's very important to slow way down at the beginning of the practice. Asking yourself if you're able to relax the parts of the body that are not necessary for the pose. In this seated posture, yes, you're focusing on sitting up tall, holding a firm core, rising the top of the head towards the sky. But also, are you able to relax the face, the jaw, hold soft in the neck, let the shoulders hang heavy, and you can work in all of the above areas from the breath to the body as long as the awareness is staying within the body. Are you able to resist urge to fidget, to shift around unnecessarily? Noticing the difference between an intentional adjustment to improve the pose versus fidgeting or shifting out of discomfort. Requiring the body to hold still requires the mind to also be still. And as you move forward through the practice, the body will become very active. It'll require that extra strength to be applied. But are you able to stay focused in the mind and relaxed where that effort is not necessary? Enjoy a few more moments of this meditation on your own. Take a nice big breath in, a long exhale, breathe in again, and exhale. How full can you get on this next inhale? And as you release, find yourself in child's pose, resting heavy into the mat. Be sure to reach those fingertips long towards the front of the room, pressing down in those hands to keep the upper back stabilized. This is a warm-up pose. It may seem very relaxed, but you're activating, beginning to activate in the upper back as you press the arms and the hands into the floor. Maybe you walk the fingertips a few inches closer to the windows at the front of the room, and then draw the tailbone to the back of the room. Walking both hands over to the left side. Yeah, really long on that right side body. Take a big breath into the right ribs. Exhale. Breathe in. Reach a little longer on that right arm. Yeah, as you exhale, move back to center. The awareness is still in the body. Watching the breath, watching the sensations of the body as you move the hands to the right side. Really extend long with that left arm. Those left fingertips reach all the way to the front right side of the room. Big breath in so you feel the stretch of the fascia on that left side body. Notice how the body responds and the sensations that come from it. Back to center. Coming up to hands and knees. Roll through the shoulders a few times. This is something I've introduced to this class a few times. We're going to focus on trying to get the shoulder rotation through the very end of range of mobility. This is similar to cat and cow. It's something you do most yoga classes. You'll warm up, but focus less on the spine. You can move the spine, but focus more on the full range of rotation in the shoulders. And then the other direction with that rotation. Beautiful. Hips stay above the knees. You're going to go to puppy pose. So walk those hands way out forward. And as you get there, think about cat pose, where you're arching in the upper spine. Try to arch in the upper spine and then press lower with the chest. Don't make it too difficult or too challenging at first. Just try to get a stretch on the front body. Take a nice big breath in. As you exhale, maybe fold a little deeper into it. Taking the right hand, placing it right underneath where the right shoulder currently is. And then you're going to turn the body, opening to the right side, and kind of sink down onto that left side. Really press heavy with the left hand into the floor. This is once again a side body stretch. We're really focusing on opening up both sides of the upper body as we prepare to move into down dog. Switching sides, so you're going to extend that right hand forward. The left hand's going to land under the left shoulder. Spin the chest open to the left side and fold a little deeper into that right side body. Back to center. Planting those hands firmly at the top of the mat. Spread the fingertips, clawing the floor. Curl the toes under. Press the hips up, down dog. Slight bend in the knees as you try to rise the hips high to the sky. You might be able to pull chin and chest closer to the toes. Bend the knees a little more. Hips go a little higher. And find a moment of stillness here in your first down dog. As long as you're able to stay connected with that breath, it might be a little easier to embrace this first power pose. Inhale, come to the top of a push-up. Hold with one exhale. Hips stay high. Inhale again. And slowly lower down with that exhale. Inhale, up dog or cobra. You can come to the elbows first. Pulling the chest forward and up. If you want more, you can go to the first up dog. Yeah, we're moving a little bit slow here in the beginning. We're just warming up. The body needs to have a little time to get into the zone before we move faster. So lead with the hips back up to down dog. Pedal into heels. Let's spend a few moments on each side. So you're going to straighten the right leg, press the weight into that right hip, and then bend the right knee, straighten the left, press weight into that left hip. Beautiful. Stable in the upper back. Lift the left leg all the way to the sky, three-legged dog. How high can you get that leg? A slight bend in that standing knee is going to help you pull the chin and chest closer to the standing foot. Lift the left leg a little higher. Big breath in. And exhale back to down dog. Big breath in. Come to the top of a push-up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, up dog. We're building, starting to take the poses one progression at a time and return to down dog. Right leg lift for three-leg dog. Bend in that left knee to help you get that right foot a little higher. Chin and chest comes closer to the left toes. Breathing. Right leg has another slight lift, go a little higher. And drop it to down dog. Inhale, come to the top of a push-up. Exhale, lower down. Yeah, inhale, up dog. A little bit faster in the motion, but it's still a moderate pace as you move with the breath. Lead with an inhale to return to down dog. Walk the feet in towards the hands, find a forward fold. And hang out here in this forward fold with a slight bend in the knees, weight heavy in the heels. Let the shoulders relax, neck relax. Are you able to let the head and the arms hang heavy? Everything from the belly button up to the top of the head is totally relaxed, letting the legs do the work here. And if it's stressful on the hamstrings, bend the knees a little more and embrace that meditative state once again. Yeah. Inhale to a flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale all the way up to stand. Arms fly out wide as you lift up, reaching those hands high. Slight back bend. Let the back bend begin in the knees, meaning slight bend in the knees. Hips sit back, and then the chest lifts up. You might be able to reach back, keeping the breath flowing. One more inhale in, and releasing those arms down. Crossing the left leg over the right knee. We're coming to a figure four here. We're going to sit down, chair pose with that leg crossed over. You can stabilize with hands here at heart center. If you want to hold the leg as such, this is a really good place to work. Keeping that breath flowing in and out is going to help you stabilize and remain balanced. Releasing that leg, reach those hands all the way up. Slight bend in the knees again, back bend here. Exhale, releasing those arms, crossing the other leg over. Yeah, let that knee try to sit wide. If the knee's up here, see if you can flex that foot to stabilize the ankle. Let that knee open up and then sit down. Let it be easy as the weight shifts to the wall behind. Breath flows in. It's okay to lose your balance. It's more about how do you react when you notice you've lost it. And release. Hands fly up to the sky. Baby back bend once again. Holding the hands lifted in the air. Exhale, sit those hips down, chair pose. Relax the shoulders. We're only here for a moment. Are you able to really activate the muscles on the back of the legs here, pressing down with the heels and the toes? Arms reach, one more inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Yeah, now that you've really activated the muscles on the back of the legs, notice that this forward fold is a little bit easier. After you activate the hamstrings, they're able to lengthen a little bit more. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, release. Plant the hands, downward facing dog. Flow with your breath. Inhale, top of a push-up. Exhale, lower down. Breath in, up dog. Get the air flowing here. And down dog. Yes, I heard some big inhale and exhales. That's exactly what you should find yourself doing anytime you land in down dog. Really restabilize. Maybe even close your eyes for a moment. Inhale, left leg reaches up to the sky. Bend that knee and open for a twist. Let that twist come from the midsection, trying to keep those shoulders square to the floor. Beautiful. Draw the knee into the chest as you arch in the upper back, placing that foot at the top of the mat. Come for a low lunge. So you're going to drop the right knee coming up. Hands on that knee to start. We're going to lunge deep, but think about pressing that back leg into the floor first. That toe pressing down, and use that down action to lunge the hip. Notice with that stability in the back leg, you're able to stay light on this front leg. Let this hip open up. Chest lifts, arms rise up, big breath in, gaze up, and exhale, stabilize. Notice how the inhales energize and the exhales soften, relax. Notice that relaxing isn't necessarily always lack of engagement. Inhale, reach those hands once more. Exhale, release. Pressing back to down dog. Hang out here in down dog, and if you'd like to take a vinyasa, feel free. Otherwise, stay here, enter that meditation state. The choice is yours. Right leg up to the sky, big expression of that pose, bending that knee open up for a twist. Yeah, shoulders square to the floor. It's the midsection that twist is happening. Are you able to get that right knee a little higher? And then draw that knee into the chest, arching in the upper back, placing that foot all the way at the top, dropping the back knee. Beautiful. Yeah. Thinking about that back toe pressing into the floor, are you able to really energize that pose by pressing down? And then you can start to lunge the hip a little deeper. Once you feel very stable in the way the legs are hugging the floor, then lift those arms. Yeah, firm in the abdominals, chest rises up, hands reach, maybe even look up. Begin with a nice big inhale. Exhale, maybe you can settle a little deeper. One more breath in, reach a little higher. And hands to the floor, downward facing dog. Hang out here or take that vinyasa. Left leg all the way up to the sky. Yeah, drawing that left knee into the chest, bringing the foot to the top of the mat, coming up for a high lunge this time, starting with your hands on that front leg. So you'll just lean on that front leg. Yeah, really let your upper body just lean right into it, and then think about the back leg. Can you press the back toe down so much that the hips start to rise up a little more? You can feel that rise in the hips, and then take that energy and lift it up to the sky. Yeah, notice that the stability in the back leg gives you more freedom in the front leg to lower a little deeper. Chin and chest rise up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Holding here for one breath. And on the next exhale, you're going to twist over to that left leg, spinning the chest, and connect the elbow to that left knee. Yeah, and then spin open. You might even be able to look up towards the ceiling. Did you lose the stability in the back leg? If you can press the back leg down, it'll help you stabilize here. Reversing, so you're going to come up, holding that twist, and then spin back forward, reaching those arms all the way up to the sky. Big inhale. Release. Hands to the floor. Down dog. Hang here or vinyasa. Right leg rises up to the sky. Anytime you find this three-legged dog, remember to make it the fullest expression possible. Really high in how you lift it, and then draw the knee into the chest, placing the foot at the top. Yeah, leaning on that front leg for your first high lunge. Notice that no matter how many times you do this, you can still take those steps to make sure the pose feels stable. That back leg presses down, the hips might rise up a little bit, chest lifts, reach those hands all the way up to the sky. Big breath in. Exhale, hold stable. Inhale and reach. Next, exhale, hands to heart center, holding here for one breath in, feeling that stability. Big inhale. Twist on the exhale, try to twist the body first and then connect that elbow to the right knee. Beautiful. Thinking about that left leg behind you, stable, strong into the floor. And reversing out of it the same way you came in, coming up and then undoing the twist. Reach those arms all the way up, full expression of high lunge. Make it big, make it beautiful. And release, hands to the floor. Step back to down dog. Inhale, come to the top of a push-up. Exhale, lower all the way down, rest on the mat. Take a nice little breather. I always enjoy little breaks in the practice. It gives you time to reset the mind, let the body recharge. It's really the best way to operate throughout the day. Bring the arms to cactus, so elbows out wide, forearms pointing forward. And you can start with your forehead down, just to make sure you feel nice and even, and then lift chin and chest, shoulders and arms up off the floor. You don't have to go super high. Notice I can still breathe and talk with this pose going. The feet stay connected to the floor. From here, I then see if I can inch a little higher, keeping the breath flowing in and out. Chin can tuck into the chest to help engage the muscles up in the neck as you lift a little higher. Hold there. And release. Arms out to a T this time. We're going to plant the left hand right underneath where the left shoulder currently is, and then spin onto that right shoulder. So you're just going to roll the whole body. Yeah, open up for a chest stretch. So the shoulder might be pressing down into the floor. See if you can roll it back a little bit to load the stretch into that right pectoral muscle. Beautiful. Again, time is your friend here. Notice as you spend a little time how the body starts to respond and open up. Back to center, hands out to a T once again. And then planting the right hand right underneath that right shoulder, opening up. And release. Come to hands and knees. For this next pose, you're really going to want to focus on the grip of the fingers into the floor. So spread those fingers nice and wide. Claw the mat so you feel the fingertips heavy into the floor. Make sure you feel nice and stable, and then you're going to reach the left leg back, and the right arm is going to come forward. You might want to scoot the bottom arm in just a little bit to center. Beautiful. Making sure with that lift, you're holding firm the lower abdominals. That arm and leg might be able to reach a little higher. Hold. One more breath in, one more little lift. And back to center to switch sides, starting with those hands gripping, and the leg reaches back first. Opposite arm forward. It's going to feel like you're pressing the heel back, and then it'll start to lift up. Staying stable. One more little lift, and release. Child's pose for a moment. You can move around in the hips. And then back up to hands and knees. Similar pose this time. You're going to start with that leg back. Did we do the right leg first last time? And then the left arm, you're just going to connect them both. Once you connect, think about kicking the foot away from the hand and the hand pulling the foot in, and both of them together pressing up. Lift the chest, maybe look towards the front of the room, holding here for a moment. Notice the different directions of activation in the leg, in the back, all while keeping firm here in the stomach. One more little press up, and release to switch. Left leg shoots back, right forward, and then make that connection. Yeah. Leg presses away from hand, and both of the foot and the hand reach up towards the sky. And release. Plant those hands. Find a down dog. We're going to start right side this time. So that right foot's going to rise all the way up to the sky. Bend the knee and open up for a twist. Beautiful. Drawing that knee in towards the chest. Placing the foot at the top of the mat. Make your way first to that high lunge. Yeah, arms sweep all the way up to the sky. And then spin that back foot open to warrior two. Beautiful. So we're all on warrior two with the right leg. Let the hips, might feel a little different, but I'm going to have you sit the hips slightly back. Tendency is to press forward. See if you can kind of relax them, let them sit back, and then the chest will lift. Arms away from midline, left arm, right arm reaches up to the sky. Beautiful. And then you can start to tip a little further. Back to center. And then the right elbow to the right knee. Left arm reaching up to the sky. Yeah, really reaching those fingertips up. Trying to broaden the front of the chest. Big breath in. Exhale, taking that left hand down to meet the right. And then you're going to spin the left toes, so you're turning them forward. Left hand stays down, right hand opens up for a twist. Yeah, high lunge, so you're going to keep the hips high. Chest opening in the front. Right hand reaching up to the sky. Nice and big. Exit nice and slow, the same way you came in. So right hand comes down on the inside of that right foot. Spin the left foot back to the warrior two position. Left arm comes back to that side angle pose. And then keeping the hands in that T, coming up nice even, and relax those arms. Notice that we're taking the same steps out as we do in. So we're going to do triangle. It's a very similar process here with a straight leg, arms out wide, and that right arm goes to reverse triangle. Reach the hand up, hold. Maybe you can inch a little further, and back to center. Big breath in, come to triangle. So that right arm's going to come to the top of an ankle. If you have a block, it's a really good option to use that here. And the left arm reaching up to the ceiling. Big breath, reach those fingers a little more. And exhale, hand comes to meet the right. Point that back toe forward, and actually this time step it in. We're in a pyramid pose over that straight right leg. And the right arm opens up to the ceiling for a twist. So now you're in a twisted pyramid. Yeah. Really seeing if you can use the breath to open the front of the chest and reach that right hand a little higher. One more inhale in. And can you reverse those steps? Taking it even, nice and slow, no rush. Yeah, so now you're in that forward triangle. And then you're going to step that foot back a little, open up for warrior two position, and then triangle regular pose. Reversing out of there. Back up to full triangle. Beautiful. Step forward on the mat, facing front. Reach those arms all the way up. Exhale and fold. Yeah, hanging out here. You can hold on to the toes if you want to grab the big toe with the peace fingers. Maybe even tuck the palms underneath the ball of the foot. And planting those hands, stepping back to down dog. So that was kind of a long sequence. See if you can remember it and think a little bit ahead as you prepare to move into it. Left leg reaches up to the sky. Big expression of that. And then draw the knee into the chest, placing the foot at the top. Yeah, lifting those arms all the way up to high lunge. Spinning that right foot open, warrior two. Beautiful. Moving with the breath. Left arm up for reverse warrior. Maybe you can lunge a little deeper in that left leg. Reach a little higher in that left arm. And then back to warrior two. Big breath in. Exhale, side angle. So you can start with that left elbow on the knee. You can go straight down with that left hand if you'd like towards the floor. Always reaching with that right hand higher to the sky. Now reaching that right hand down to the left, framing the foot, spin that back foot so you're in a high lunge position in the legs, and the right hand stays down, left hand goes up for a twist. Hips stay lifting, chest opens and lifts towards the ceiling. And top hand comes back down, spinning that back foot, warrior two once again. And then that left hand stays down, side angle pose. Remembering that opening of the arms, keeping in that T, see if you can come up nice and slow. Yeah, and relaxing the arms for a moment. Maybe wiggle the hips. With a straight left leg, arms out wide for triangle. Big breath in. Exhale, left hand down. Right arm reaching up to the sky. Big breath in. Hold with one exhale. One more lift of that right hand. And then both hands to the floor, framing that front foot. Back foot steps in a little bit and fold over that front leg. And then the left hand reaches up to the sky for that twist. the top hand stays very engaged. Really use the energy of that top arm to help open the chest. And then release that top hand back to the floor. Stepping back to the warrior two position of the feet. Triangle pose here. And then T with the arms, come up nice and slow. Beautiful. Step to the top of the mat. Reach those arms all the way up. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, flat back. And hands to the floor. Step back to child's pose. A nice little breather here. Beautiful. Making your way up to stand. You can go through down dog. If you want to just stand right up, that's totally fine. And then facing the left side of the room, start with a wide stance. Yeah, so the feet are going to be parallel or toes slightly turned in. Slight bend in the knees and pressing the hips way back. Wide leg forward fold this time. Yeah. So we're starting to wind things down. Moving back into those more Shavasana-like poses. The legs are still very energized, but you can let the upper body relax. Start to open a little more in the hips. Walking both hands over to that left leg. Pulling up on that right hip in opposition, keeping high with that right hip. Back to center. Over to the right side. See if you can pull slightly up on that left hip as well. And back to center. Coming up to flat back, so you're going to kind of bring the hands underneath the shoulders. If you want to hold there for a moment, I'm going to give you a demo. You can choose into this or not. One option to move to that seated position is to bring one hand behind and let the legs sit wide, move straight down. If you want to just exit and then sit down, that's totally fine too. I find it helpful to keep the heels pressing down to activate as you move into it. Beautiful. Once you're here, be sure to press down with the calves, with the heels into the floor. You can start with hands behind, if that helps to keep the chest lifted. And breathe. You might be able to start taking the upper body forward a little more. So there's nothing wrong with arching in the back, but it helps to keep the chest lifted to try to load this more into the hips as you start to open. You might be able to walk the fingers forward. Keeping them in behind is a perfectly good place to work. If you want to start to go a little deeper, you can. And this is one of those that takes a little time as you open up in the legs there. And walking both hands over to the left leg first. Yeah, so it's like you're trying to take the ribs and move them towards that left leg. One thing that helps is thinking about the right leg that's kind of behind the upper body now. Pressing that down into the floor will help you fold a little further. Back to center. Over to that right leg. Trying to get the ribs over that direction, and you can press down with that left foot. Back to center. Bringing that left leg, swinging it forward to the front of the mat, facing those windows. And then bring the right sole of the foot to the inside of the left leg. Yeah, so you'll notice the hips might start off on a little bit of an angle. That's totally fine. You're going to sit up tall and then turn the chest over that straight leg and fold down. You can grab the leg, this is a good place. If you can get onto the end of the foot, what really helps is to think about pulling the leg back into the hip joint with your arms and then starting to bow down. Yeah, holding up on the leg is perfect as well. Coming up slow. The leg drifts back over to center, crossing that foot over that leg, and then hook the elbow around the knee. So it's going to be opposite elbow to that knee, and then arm behind for a twist. Beautiful. Yeah. And releasing that. Straighten out both legs, bringing the opposite foot in, starting with a lift of the chest. Exhale, turn over that straight leg and fold down. Slowly lift, crossing that left foot over that right leg. And then you're going to hook the opposite elbow around and then hand behind. It's like you're almost like a kickstand is what I like to think of, pressing down with that back arm to lift the chest and then pull deeper into the twist. So you have a couple directions going on here. Lift in the chest and twist. and releasing that. Making your way to pigeon pose on the right. So you can just spin the leg. And this shin is going to almost cross horizontal, might be angled slightly down towards that left hip. And then lifting in the chest, really pressing down with that front leg. Big breath in. Exhale, you can fold over that leg. And slowly lift. You can plant the hands at the top and curl that back foot under and lift that right leg. Maybe come to a hand and knees to kind of straighten that right leg out. Wiggle it for a moment. And then taking the left forward for pigeon on the left side. Pressing down with that left leg, lifting, making sure you feel that engagement in the leg. And then fold over that strong left leg. And even while you're here, you can go through moments of really relaxing that leg, but then also re-engaging, re-pressing down into the floor. And a slow release. Making your way to lay on your back. Hugging both knees into the chest. Yeah, and you can make that hug so the knees kind of move to the sides, like you're pulling the knee towards the armpit more. And then straightening out the left leg, keeping that right knee hugged in. Left leg moves to the floor. And then pull that right knee over to the left side body for a twist. You can try to get that knee to the floor. And let the right arm open up towards the floor as well. So that right side body really feels the opening. And then hugging both knees into chest in the center. Yeah, then straightening out that right leg all the way to the floor. One little squeeze of the left leg, and then drop it over to the right side, allowing the right side upper body to open up as well. That was confusing, but you get the gist. And then back to center. Take any final poses you'd like to enjoy. Perhaps a happy baby. Plow pose is a good option. And when you're ready, enjoy your final meditation, Shavasana. Setting yourself up in a way to remain still. And draw the awareness once more to the breath. More subtle, more shallow the breath is now. As you hold yourself in this sleep-like state. Move in any way that feels good. And take a nice big breath. And taking your time to return to a seated position on the mat. And lifting the hands to heart center. Start with a nice big breath here, lifting the top of the head all the way up. Exhale, shoulders are soft, relaxed. And take a moment to notice what's going on for you now. Now that you've had a chance to really ground the body and stabilize the mind. And may you be able to keep that inner peace with you as you move throughout the day. One more breath here. And exhale as you bow. Namaste. Good work, everyone. Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming. Yeah, good to see you again.